Santiago del Carmen Maria, the queen of crowning thought. I speak truth unapologetically. It's my reign of reality and empowerment.
November 27, 2025. Listen. I'm about to say the quiet part out loud about food stamps and the people who still pretend to be offended by them. Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off right now, because I'm so goddamn tired of the fake-ass outrage from people who have never missed a meal in their cushy little lives, acting like food stamps are some luxury welfare yacht club instead of the thinnest, most humiliating lifeline we throw to people who are literally sleeping on concrete. How do I feel about people on food stamps? I feel like they're human beings, you sanctimonious pricks, and the fact that we still have grown adults clutching pearls because someone used Snap to buy a rotisserie chicken makes me want to scream into the void until my throat bleeds. And don't even come at me with that. But I saw a lady buy steak bullshit. Because yeah, Karen, once every 5 years somebody buys a goddamn ribeye for their kid's birthday, and suddenly the entire program is fraud. Meanwhile, billionaires get farm subsidies to not grow corn on land they don't even live on. But sure, tell me more about how the real crime is a poor person eating hot food. And can we talk about the homeless for a second? Because this is the part that actually makes my blood boil so hot I could fry an egg on my forehead. Right now, in the richest country that has ever existed on this spinning rock, we have people living outside 365 days a year who get, what, $45 a month in SNAP benefits if they're lucky enough to qualify, and the rules say they can't buy a single hot thing with it. Not a deli sandwich, not a rotisserie chicken from Walmart, not a $2 slice of pizza from the bodega that's the only thing open at 2 a.m. when they're freezing their ass off. Cold groceries only, motherfuckers. Tell me, genius, where exactly is a person who sleeps under a bridge supposed to store cold groceries? In their shopping cart that gets stolen twice a week? In the magical refrigerator fairy that shows up with an extension cord? And how the hell are they supposed to cook raw chicken or a bag of rice when the only stove they own is the one they hallucinate from hunger? Are we expecting them to rub 2 sticks together and whisper thoughts and prayers until dinner appears? This rule is so cruel, it feels like it was written by someone who gets off on watching suffering. I'm sorry, but if your biggest problem with food stamps is that a homeless veteran might, God forbid, walk into a 7-Eleven and buy a hot taquito so he doesn't have to eat another cold can of beans straight from the tin with a plastic spoon he found in the trash, then you are the problem. You are the actual villain in this story. And spare me that it's supposed to be for groceries lecture, because the program is called Supplemental Nutrition Assistance, not supplemental cold raw food that requires appliances and storage you don't have assistance. The clue is in the name, nutrition. A hot meal is nutrition. A hot meal keeps people alive. A hot meal is literally the difference between someone having enough energy to fill out a job application or collapsing on the sidewalk from hypothermia because their body is burning every calorie just to stay warm. And let's be real, the hot food ban started back in the 70s because Congress was terrified, I tell you, that poor people might buy a bucket of fried chicken and have, what joy, a moment of normalcy, the horror. They were convinced black families would just blow all their benefits on takeout and lobster. Yeah, that was the actual racist dog whistle they used. So they wrote this asinine rule that says prepared food is the devil's work. Fast forward 50 years, and the only people this hurts are the ones who have nothing, literally nothing, except the clothes on their back and maybe a tarp if the shelter ran out of beds again. Meanwhile, every state has waivers for elderly people, disabled people, and yes, homeless people, to buy hot food during disasters, because apparently when a hurricane hits, we suddenly remember humanity exists. But the other 364 days, a year, we're cool with people starving as long as we can feel morally superior about it. You know what I would do if I was in charge for 5 goddamn minutes? I would make every single congressman who votes against hot food waivers live on the street for 1 month with $45 in SNAP and see how long their personal responsibility. Lecture lasts when they're trying to figure out how to cook spaghetti with no pot, no water that isn't from a public fountain, and no fire that isn't going to get them arrested for illegal camping. I guarantee you by day 3, they'd be begging for a hot slice of pizza, like it was the last helicopter out of Saigon. But no, instead we have these comfortable assholes in Washington who have never had to choose between tampons and dinner, deciding that homeless people don't deserve the basic dignity of a warm meal because rules are rules and, what about fraud and, I saw a TikTok once. And don't come at me with the cost argument either, because allowing hot prepared foods would add what, maybe 1 or 2% to the SNAP budget. We're talking pennies compared to the trillions we hand out in corporate welfare and tax breaks for private jets. The USDA already did pilot programs in like 8 states where they let people buy hot food, and guess what? Shock of shocks. Poor people didn't suddenly start ordering caviar and champagne. They bought rotisserie chickens and deli sandwiches and things that kept them alive without requiring a kitchen they don't have. The sky did not fall. The republic still stands. But God forbid we make something simple and humane, because then how would Fox News have something to rage about at 8 p.m.? Honestly, the whole thing makes me want to scream. We have people dying of exposure, people losing toes to frostbite, people whose only crime is being poor in a country that worships money like it's Jesus himself, and our big concern is that maybe, just maybe, one of them might get to eat a hot meal without shame. Fuck that. Fuck all of that noise. Let them buy the damn chicken. Let them walk into Walmart and get the $8 hot meal deal with mashed potatoes and gravy. Let them go to the bodega and get a chopped cheese and a coffee when it's -10 outside. It costs us almost nothing, and it might be the one moment in their entire week where they feel like a person instead of a problem. Because that's what this really boils down to, isn't it? We don't want to see poor people eating hot food because then we might have to admit they're human. If they're quietly starving on cold cans of tuna in the dark, we can pretend they don't exist. But if they dare to buy a hot meal like the rest of us, suddenly they're visible, suddenly they're taking something they don't deserve, suddenly it's an outrage. Well, I'm here to tell you that the outrage is fake, the cruelty is real, and I am so goddamn tired of pretending otherwise. So yeah, I support letting people on SNAP buy hot food. I support it for the homeless guy who hasn't had a warm meal in weeks. I support it for the mom working 2 jobs who's too exhausted to cook when she gets home at midnight. I support it for the disabled veteran who can't stand long enough to prep a meal. I support it because food is supposed to be about survival and dignity, not punishment. And if that pisses off the bootstrap brigade who think poverty is a character flaw, then good, stay mad, because I'm done being polite about basic human decency. Oh, and dearest MAGA, I was not talking to you. I just want to thank you all, like, share, and follow to stay connected. I am Santiago del Carmen Maria, the Queen of Crowning Thoughts, because I say it like it is. Copyright 2025 Independent Writer, Crowning Thoughts Truth Speaker, AI Video Content Creator Writer Blogger Santiago DC. Maria, all rights reserved.